Hi, my name is Savannah Langston, and I'm going to be doing a presentation on the Voice to Values case called the tax return. Brenda Sells is preparing a tax return for the president of Purple Industries Incorporated, Harry Kahn. Harry Kahn is unhappy with his tax return because he did not want his gambling losses or gains on his tax return. Brenda's account manager has asked her to omit them from Harry Kahn's tax return. Brenda is left to decide what she should do. He has asked her to come report back to him at 9 a.m. the next morning, saying this is a one-time thing, Brenda, and not to be worried about it because she will not be asked to do it again. Question number 1. Analyze the alternatives available to Brenda using Kohlberg's 6 stages of moral development, assuming that Brenda has no reason to doubt Vincent's veracity with respect to the statement that is a one-time request. Should that make a difference in what Brenda decides to do? The 6 stages of moral development. Stage 1 is obedience to the rules. Stage 2 is satisfying one's own needs. Stage 3 is fairness to others. Stage 4 is law and order. Stage 5 is social contract. And stage 6 is universal ethical principles. At level 1, the pre-conventional level, the industry is very self-centered. Rules are often seen as something external imposed on the self, and they are used to avoid punishment. So if Brenda was in this stage, she would do whatever her boss told her just to avoid the punishment. At level 2, the conventional level, the individual becomes aware of the interest of others and one's duty to society. Personal responsibility becomes an important consideration in decision making. At this point in time, Brenda understands that there's other people in society that need her to fulfill her duties. So in this stage of moral development, she could probably rationalize that this is okay for a one-time thing, but she could also start to have morals and ethics about this particular issue and decide that it's not okay. In level 3, principle morality underlies decision making at this level. The individual recognizes that there must be a society-wide basis for cooperation. So if she's at this level of moral development, she would decide that based on her morals and ethics that this is not okay and that she should not engage in this activity that her account manager has asked her to do. Based on the alternative described by Kohlberg and assuming that this truly is a one-time request from her account manager, this should not change her decision. It is important for her to make ethical decisions throughout her entire career, or she can end up following the pattern of unethical decision patterns for the rest of her career. Using Kohlberg's model, Brenda can reasonably assume that she will get in trouble if she does not do what her boss says. But she can also assume that she will be in jeopardy of losing her CPA license if he asks her to do this. Assuming she understands her morals, she needs to make a decision based on her ethics. Question number 2. Assume you have decided that your position will be in the meeting with Vincent, but you aren't quite sure how to respond to his reasonings and rationalizations provided by him to ignore the lottery losses. How might you counter those arguments, and what would be your most powerful and persuasive response? When Vincent, Brenda's account manager, counters her rationale for saying no, she needs to stay strong to her ethics and use her reasoning in statements such as, I understand why you're asking me to do here, but understand this, not placing the lottery tickets on the tax return would go against my morals and beliefs on ethics, and it would also put me in jeopardy of losing my CPA license. A good boss should never ask an employee to go against what they believe in when they are doing business. If she responds in this way, he can't really have a counter argument because no one can really tell you what to believe. If she brings up the fact that she could lose her CPA license, this is also a very compelling argument in her behalf. Question number 3. Assume that Brenda decides to go along with Vincent and omits the lottery and losses and gains. Next year, a similar situation arises with winnings from a local poker tournament. Kahn now trusts Brenda and shared with her that he won $4,950 from the event. He tells you it is to not report it because it was below the $5,000 threshold for the payer to issue a form WTG. If you were Brenda and Vincent asked you to do the same thing you did last year regarding omitting the lottery losses and gains, what would you do in your second year and why? If I were Brenda and had made the adjustment on the prior year's return and had been asked to do it again, I would personally explain the way it made me feel to go against my ethics and to let Kahn know that I am not willing to make the sacrifice again. And also, I would explain the fact that I'm not willing to lose my CPA license in doing so. It is so important to decide while we are early in our profession what we will do and what we will not do when it comes to making ethical decisions.